too, but I think especially Caitlin Clark, she's been killing it. And I'm a huge fan, and I never say that, but I think it's fun what she's doing.
What happens when a rookie's talent is so undeniable, even the veterans can't help but cheer? Sophie Cunningham, teammate of Clark's biggest critic Diana Taurasi, just dropped some strong words that's shaking up the WNBA. The league's old guard is stepping aside, and you won't believe who's leading the charge. Enter Caitlin Clark, the standout guard who's not just playing the game. She's rewriting it. With averages of 19.2 points, 8.5 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game, Clark isn't just filling stat sheets. She's filling arenas and capturing hearts. But here's where it gets juicy. It's not just the fans who are buzzing.
So when you talk about the young girls that came in, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, rookie class, really hyping up the league coming from college to the WNBA, what has that done for you and the buzz of this entire league?
You might be thinking, sure, rookies impress fans all the time. But when a veteran like Sophie Cunningham says, "I'm a huge fan and I never say that," you know something's up. This isn't just about numbers, it's about respect. And trust me, in the WNBA, respect isn't handed out for free. So, what's got the vets sitting up and taking notice? Is it Clark's court vision, her clutch shots? Or is there something more to this phenom that's got even the toughest critics changing their tune? In this video, we'll break down what made Sophie say those things, and what it means for the future of women's basketball. Get ready, because we're about to dive deep into this unexpected admiration. Before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can bring more basketball content to viewers like you. Are you ready? Let's go.
Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not. Not gonna happen.
You might think Clark's success would ruffle some WNBA feathers. I mean, there's one veteran that basically denies her existence. I'm looking at you, Cheryl Swoops. And then there's another veteran that said, "Reality is coming." Well, guess what, Diana? Reality did come. And she swept you 4-0.
There is no negatives to the viewers.
But there's one player who's singing a different tune. Why is this veteran support sending shockwaves through the league? Enter Sophie Cunningham from the Phoenix Mercury, a seasoned pro who's not afraid to speak her mind. As a longtime teammate of Diana Taurasi, the WNBA's all-time leading scorer and one of Clark's most vocal critics, you'd expect Cunningham to toe the party line. But here's where things get interesting. Cunningham's breaking ranks, and she's doing it in a big way. "I'm a huge fan and I never say that," Cunningham declared, her words echoing through the basketball world. Now, you might be thinking, so what? Players compliment each other all the time. But in the WNBA, where respect is earned through blood, sweat, and tears, this kind of endorsement from a veteran to a rookie is about as rare as a slam dunk. Let's break it down. Cunningham isn't just any player. She's part of the old guard, the established elite who've paid their dues and earned their stripes. For her to come out swinging in Clark's corner, it just doesn't happen often. Until now. But Cunningham didn't stop there. She went on to say,
I think it's so positive. I really do. I think it's a fun time to be a part of the W. I truly believe that. I think the skill and the talent has always been there, but now it's just the viewership.
With these words, Cunningham isn't just praising Clark's game. She's acknowledging her impact on the entire league. Think about it. In a sport where veterans often view newcomers as threats to their playing time and paychecks, Cunningham's embracing the change Clark represents. She's recognizing that a rising tide lifts all boats, and Clark's popularity could be the tide the WNBA's been waiting for. But here's where it gets really juicy. Remember Taurasi, Cunningham's teammate and Clark's critic?
Reality is coming. There's levels to this thing. You're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Cunningham's support for Clark is bringing the old and the new guard together. It's bridging a gap that many thought was unbridgeable, showing that there's room for both seasoned stars and fresh faces in the WNBA spotlight. Cunningham's not stopping at just words either. She's setting an example for how veterans can support and nurture new talent, even when that talent threatens to overshadow them.
I give a big old clap to the rookie class. I think that's a lot to deal with when you're at that age and you have that many eyes on you. But I think they've done a great job in the league as well. I think the physicality and all that they're going to get used to.
This isn't just about Clark anymore. It's about a shifting dynamic in the league. Cunningham's words are a rallying cry, a call for unity between the old and the new. She's showing that success for one player can mean success for all, that the league can grow and evolve without leaving its veterans behind. So why does this matter? Because basketball isn't just about what happens on the court. It's about the culture, the relationships, the unspoken rules that govern how players interact. Cunningham's support for Clark is like a seismic shift in that culture. It's saying, hey, we can celebrate new talent without diminishing our own legacies. And let's be real, this kind of support can make or break a career. The WNBA is a pressure cooker, and having a veteran in your corner can be the difference between sinking and swimming. Cunningham's backing isn't just nice, it's a lifeline thrown to Clark as she navigates the choppy waters of professional basketball. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
When it comes to viewership, man, I think a lot of people have a lot to learn about our league, but I think that's a really fun thing. And if you have really anything negative to say about all the viewership and everything that this rookie class is doing, I just think that you're not capitalizing on it and you might be a little jealous. So for me, I'm all for it. I'm about it. I love all this stuff.
While Cunningham's backing is crucial, it's just the tip of the iceberg. Picture this: packed stadiums, skyrocketing viewership, and a league on fire. Let's talk numbers for a second. Clark's averaging 19.2 points, 8.5 assists, and 5.8 rebounds per game. Impressive, right? But these stats are just the beginning. Clark's not just filling stat sheets, she's filling arenas and capturing hearts. The real story? It's happening off the court. Imagine walking into a WNBA game. The energy's electric, the stands are packed, and all eyes are on one player. That's the Clark effect. She's not just a player, she's a phenomenon. Viewership is through the roof, and the WNBA is getting more attention than ever. But here's where it gets tricky. Can Clark handle the pressure? Think about it. Every move she makes is analyzed, every shot dissected. Defenses aren't just trying to stop her, they're redesigning their entire game plans around her. It's like she's playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Her assists? They're not just passes, they're works of art. She's seeing angles that shouldn't exist, making passes that leave commentators speechless. But here's the million-dollar question. Can she keep this up? The target on her back is getting bigger every game. Teams are throwing everything they've got at her. Double teams, box and one, and more often than not, the kitchen sink. They're changing their whole strategy just to contain one player. That's respect, but it's also a whole lot of pressure. You might be thinking, sure, but she's handled it so far. And you'd be right, but this isn't college anymore. This is the big leagues, where every player was the star of their team. The competition is fierce and the scrutiny, it's relentless. Clark's not just playing against other teams. She's playing against expectations. Every game, people are waiting for her to drop 30 points, dish out 10 assists, or break another record while she's at it. That's a heavy burden for anyone, let alone someone in her first year. But here's where Clark separates herself from the pack. Under all this pressure, she's not just surviving, she's thriving. When the defense tightens up, she finds new ways to score. When they take away her shot, she creates for her teammates. It's like the more they try to stop her, the better she gets. And it's not just about her individual performance. Clark's changing the entire landscape of women's basketball. Young girls aren't just dreaming of playing in the WNBA anymore. They're dreaming of playing like Caitlin Clark. She's inspiring a whole new generation of players. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. The season's long, and the real test is yet to come. Can Clark keep up this pace? Will the constant attention and pressure start to wear her down? Or will she continue to rise above it all, cementing her place as not just a great player, but a league-changing superstar? One thing's for sure, the WNBA hasn't seen anything like this before. Clark's not just playing the game, she's redefining it. And whether you're a fan or a critic, you can't deny that she's making women's basketball more exciting than ever. As Clark electrifies arenas, a hidden transformation is taking place. What if her rise marks the beginning of a new era for women's basketball? The ripple effects could change everything you thought you knew about the sport.
She's like, instead of being like annoyed that there are more viewers, capitalize on it. There are more people watching you too.
Think Clark's success only benefits her? Think again. Sophie Cunningham's bold support isn't just about one player, it's a game changer for the entire league. Cunningham's not pulling punches when it comes to Clark's critics. She's calling out the green-eyed monster, saying, I think some people are jealous. But here's the kicker. Those critics might be missing the bigger picture. Clark's not just racking up personal stats, She's elevating the whole game. Every time she steps on the court, she lifts everyone up. She's bringing in new fans to the sport, those that may not be watching if not for her. Young players aren't just watching, they're learning, dreaming, and pushing themselves to new heights. But the Clark effect doesn't stop at the sidelines. It's spilling over into the stands, onto TV screens, and across social media. Suddenly, women's basketball isn't just a sport, it's the hottest ticket in town. Arenas are packed, viewership is skyrocketing, and the buzz is real. Picture this: a WNBA game with the same energy as an NBA Finals match. Sounds far-fetched? Not anymore. Clark's bringing that electric atmosphere to every game she plays. It's not just about her skills, it's about the excitement she generates. People aren't just watching basketball, they're witnessing history in the making. And here's where it gets really interesting. The media is starting to pay attention, real attention. We're talking primetime coverage, in-depth analysis, and the kind of spotlight usually reserved for the biggest names in sports. Clark's not just changing the game, she's changing how the game is seen. Veterans like Cunningham aren't just cheering from the sidelines, they're actively paving the way. They're showing that there's room for both the old guard and the new stars. It's not about competition, it's about collaboration. They're saying, we've laid the foundation, now let's build something incredible together. This is where the real magic happens. As the veterans embrace the rookies, as the old school meets the new, we're seeing a fusion of experience and innovation. It's like watching a perfect alley-oop. The seasoned pro sets it up, and the young star slams it home. Together, they're taking the game to heights we've never seen before. And it's not just about what happens on the court. This new era is changing perceptions off the court, too. Suddenly, women's basketball isn't a side note in sports conversations. It's the main event. People aren't just talking about individual players. They're debating strategies, analyzing plays, and getting invested in team rivalries. The investment isn't just emotional either. As Clark and her contemporaries draw more eyes to the league, the financial landscape is shifting. We're talking about potential increases in salaries, better facilities, and more resources for player development. It's a snowball effect. More attention leads to more investment, which leads to an even better product on the court. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this sustainable? Can Clark and the new generation of stars keep this momentum going? The answer lies in the very thing that's driving this change: the unity between the veterans and the rookies. As long as players like Cunningham continue to support and nurture new talent, the future of women's basketball looks brighter than ever. Caitlin Clark isn't just making waves. She's creating a tsunami in the WNBA. Her first season is drawing comparisons to historical moments, with the potential to redefine expectations for newcomers. But here's the thing. Clark's turning the Indiana Fever from league punching bags into playoff contenders. That's not just a turnaround. It's a complete 180 that's got the whole league spinning. Veterans like Sophie Cunningham aren't just noticing. They're jumping on board. It's not about old guard versus new blood anymore. It's about a united front, pushing women's basketball to new heights. We're not just watching games anymore, we're seeing the birth of a new era. The question is, are you ready for what comes next? Let us know in the comments. Like and subscribe so you never miss out on the latest news. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.